greatest warship ever launched, christened by Mrs. Henry Wallace, wife of the Vice President.
I used to play a game with my dad. He was a captain of a submarine. "What's the best ship on the 7 seas?" he would ask. I always said, "A battleship." It wasn't a slap at him. I love my father. All I had to do was say the word, he would have pulled every string in the book to get me on a sub. But I didn't want that. Because when there's trouble around the world, what is the first thing the Pentagon does? They send in the battleships. Point of the sword is what my father calls it. That's where a warrior wants to be. In harm's way, defending the world. That's what a battleship does. And of all the battleships on the ocean, none was finer than the USS Iowa. From World War II, fighting the Japanese at Saipan and Hokkaido, to supporting our troops against the North Koreans at Kojo, the Iowa was the place to be when the world was on fire. So when I finally got a chance to be assigned to her and move up to command my own 16-inch gun turret, it was a dream come true.
I want to try some ear protection, sir.
I've been around guns before. I'll be fine.
All right. Suit yourself. Then we use these scuttles to transfer the powder into the powder hoist. Now, the scuttles help us isolate the powder in case there's a problem in the magazine. It won't affect the powder handling room. The powder's put on the hoist. Each gunroom has its own separate hoist. Once it's on the hoist, it travels up through the 2 projectile decks to the gunroom above. Down below here, I've got a primer man. He's going to stick a .30 caliber round into the breech. That's what we use to trigger the detonation. Cradle operator lines up the tray. This way we can load the shell and then the powder into the gun. The gun captain synchronizes everything, the loading and the firing. First 3 bags come down. Easy, easy. 2 go back, 1 goes forward.
Is that a soda can?
Yeah, it's a soda can. I bet they don't teach you that in the academy.
The powder hoist door is reliant on a soda can?
Yeah, what am I gonna do? I can't find any spare parts unless I cannibalize another battle.
Cannibalize one. I don't want this turret running on soda cans.
Yes, sir. See what I can do. That's fine.
Turret 1, center gun, ready and loaded.
Exercise complete. Secure gunnery. We still all here?
Ensign Meyer, this is gunner's mate Timothy Sykes. Mr. Meyer was running a 5-incher, but now this is his new home.
Welcome to Turret 1, sir.
Loading crew to turret.
Ensign Meyer reporting, sir.
Loading
As ordered.
to turret 3.
Oh, how these, mister? You know Gunner's Mate Williams?
Yes, sir.
Gunner's Mate Williams here was All-American 2 years ago, best wide receiver in the country. Why he gave up a pro career to serve under me, I'll never know.
Well, the Iowa is a legend, sr.
That's why you applied for duty here? Because the Iowa's a legend?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd have thought that you applied for a sub. Your dad commanded the sub, didn't he?
Yes, sir. I do better on the surface than underwater.
Why not a carrier? Couldn't your old man and some of his pals get your berth on a carrier?
Well, sir, I'm not a pilot. There's no future on a carrier for an officer who doesn't fly.
Ah. So basically, you're here by default.
No, sir. I wanted the Iowa. She's the point of the sword.
My. Ensign Meyer says that the battleship is the point of the sword. So, as a smart man, I assume that you've made some inquiries about your new captain.
Sir?
What is the first thing that I expect from my officers?
Loyalty, sir.
Second.
Loyalty, sir.
And third.
Loyalty, sir.
Were you satisfied with your dry run practice in Turret 1?
Well, sir, 16-inch guns are certainly trickier than 5-inch guns.
Mister, were you satisfied with your dry run practice in Turret 1?
Yes, sir.
So your turret will be ready for a live fire exercise next month.
It'll be ready, sir.
Dismissed.
Yes, sir.
So she says to me, if you don't buy me the ring, I'm gone.
So what'd you say?
I say, Carol, honey, for the price of that ring, I could buy a Camaro. Well, something like that. 20. Maybe not those exact words.
You could do worse. Could get stuck with a caprice.
Where's my money, Bob?
Next payday.
Next payday.
Next payday, Caan. Guaranteed.
So you want to extend your loan?
Come on, man. Don't do this, all right? I'm not gonna stiff you. I'm gonna pay you back every damn nickel. Ah.
A week ago, you borrowed $200. My rate is 50% a week as of today.
Hey! 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 Officer on deck.
Who are you, sailor?
Gunner's mate Robert Dolan, sir.
Gunner's mate Kendall Turret, sir.
Gunner's mate Clayton Hartwig, sir.
They're all from Turret 2.
Did I just witness an assault?
No, sir. I did not just witness an assault.
No, sir.
Then what did I just witness, Gunner's mate Hartwig?
A demonstration, sir. Dolan wanted Truett to show him a judo move.
Yes, sir. A judo move. Dolan wanted to learn a judo move.
Truett was showing me one of his moves, sir.
Next time, tell a better lie. Or keep your mouth shut.
If I ever catch you loan sharking the men in Turret 2, I'll kick your ass.
I can't wait to get out there tonight. Clubs, restaurants, food, real food.
I hear that.
I am sick of Navy chow.
Oh, you're gonna be eating tonight. I mean, Norfolk is swimming with coos. Sims found this massage parlor, man.
If you're into that kind of thing. Anybody need money for tonight?
Keep your money.
Make sure you talk to me before you hit the beach.
You're off, man.
I'm not saying you need to pay for it, but if you want to. Remember I told you about Carol, her wanting a ring?
What about it?
I wasn't exactly straight with you, Clay. We got married in December.
What?
It was a spur of the moment thing, Clay. We just went and did it.
Hey, guys. Ken just got married. Hey! Just went and did it. Guess he didn't want any witnesses at the scene of the crime. Congratulations.
What's he so pissed off about?
Oh, Mr. Meyer. Hey, this is Senior Chief Reggie Ziegler. He's from Turret 2, Reggie. This is our new ensign. This is Dan Meyer.
How you doing?
Senior Chief,
You want a beer?
I don't drink with enlisted men, and I don't want to see alcohol in my turret.
Okay. What can I do for you?
We have a live shoot coming up.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be ready.
0700 Monday morning in my office. I want a detailed report of everything that's wrong with this turret. Equipment, training, everything.
And then?
And then we see that it's fixed.
I think I'd be here busting my ass on my own time if there was any other way to get this stuff done.
I don't want to hear complaints. I want to hear solutions.
Oh, okay. I got a lot of solutions. I need a new air compressor so I can clean out the gun barrels. I gotta replace all the hydraulics because, Mr. Meyer, I'm leaking 60 gallons a week. I couldn't have a more out-of-date control panel. Look, I got a lot of solutions. The problem is there's no money. Anytime I get spare cash, where's it go? To a new cruise missile, right, Ziggy? Or some kind of fancy targeting computer? Doesn't come here.
Does the captain know about the condition of the turret?
Musali? No, I don't believe he's ever been in this turret. I don't believe he's ever been in any turret. Word is the captain is he's afraid of the big guns.
Let me give you some advice. That's not a wise habit. Making disparaging remarks about your superior officers. It gets back to them.
Aye, sir.
0700 Monday morning.
Aye, sir.
Mortenson's a good man.
I'm sure he is.
But his attitude stinks.
I'll just say the word, son. I'll have you in a sub in 72 hours.
That's not the kind of help I need. I go on a sub, no matter what I do, I'm Don Meyer's son.
Well, it could be worse.
You know what I mean. I have to make it on my own.
So, what else do you want to know?
I know battleships aren't your area of expertise, but if I wanted to make an impression, what would you advise?
What's your captain like?
Fred Musali. Barely knows I'm alive.
Well, I've heard of him. He's the kind of guy who, well, let's just say he knows his way around. Just give him the results he can boast about, he'll haul you up the ladder with him. How's your ship?
She's a mess. Old parts, barely holding on. There's no money for repairs. Pretty much anything that can go wrong with a 50-year-old ship. Besides that, she's a grand old dame.
Who knows all this?
Everybody.
Yeah, but who knows it officially? You gotta write a memo. Put it all down, every detail. And don't be a whiner and go to the captain. Go through your chain of command. And do it soon.
Thanks, honey. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to take my top off and what?
I appreciate the offer, but I just want to get a shot of the two of us, you know, for the guys.
Look, baby, I like you. I've never been with an officer before.
I'm not an officer.
We don't even need to get a room. My car's out back. I got a van.
Look, we're sailing tomorrow. You don't want me here tonight. And... Thank you.
Mr. Meyer, Master Chief Scully, sir. You got a second? So you probably know that I'm the liaison between gunnery headquarters and the Iowa. I run the experimental chutes on board, sir.
What can I do for you, Master Chief?
Well, sir, everyone knows that you and Mort operate a great turret, and I figured maybe I could persuade you to become my R&D shop.
What did you have in mind?
Well, sir, could you maybe do a DA-40 shot for us during the upcoming live fire exercises?
A long-range shoot?
Yes, sir, very long range. The idea would be to go for a record. Don't press the hell out of the brass, sir.
We're talking about setting a record?
Yes, that would be the idea, sir. You up for it?
Tell me where to sign.
That's great. I'll just leave that with you, sir. Thank you.
Why me? I'm the least senior guy here.
Well, sir, you're the only lieutenant who doesn't owe me one, and, well, I'm just covering my bases. You go places, you remember who your friends are. It's just the way it is.
What's up?
Petty Officer Mortensen.
Sir.
Master Chief Skelly wants Turret 1 to do an experimental shoot. Would that be a problem for us?
What kind of experimental shoot?
D-840. Long-range shoot. He said you run a great turret. Wants to make it his regular R&D shop.
Not a Delta 846 5-bag.
He only said D-840. Said we could set a record for distance. You object to that?
Well, sure, I object to any experimental shoots, especially if Master Chief Skelly is behind them.
Well, apart from your opinion of Master Chief Skelly, are there any reasons Turret 1 shouldn't do this shoot?
Apart from you wanting to set a long-range record, are there any reasons we should, sir?
The turret will set the record.
Bearing 075 degrees. Range 15,000 yards.
Turret 1, guns loaded, ready to fire.
On my mark.
3, 2, 1.
Mark.
Sir. Thank you. Turret 1 scored 6 direct hits on a target which was located 48,000 yards from the Iowa. That is 6,000 yards farther than any hit ever achieved by a battleship. Mara, extend my congratulations to the men of your turret. I'll be notifying the CNO of this exercise, and well done all around.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
You're missing the point, man. You don't find new ways to shoot the big guns, it's freaking over. The missile guys win. Goodbye 16 inches, goodbye battleships, hell, goodbye our Navy. Navy'll be the damn Air Force. And it don't have to be that way, because those guns are better than missiles.
You listening to this crap? I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm sitting with the leader of men, holder of the 16-inch.
Put a cork in it, will you?
It's a cool thing to put on a resume. Milk it for all it's worth, sure, but don't take it seriously.
I don't think you'd complain if you had that record.
Hey, Lieutenant. Clay's buying.
What's happening, Ken?
Clay got approved for a job in London guarding the ambassador. No more turret duty.
The embassy, not the ambassador.
Same thing. What are you guys having?
When are you leaving?
Just waiting for the orders. Hope they come before we ship out.
Hey, Christy.
Christy! Christy! What's with her? Oh, I'm making a run over to the shipyard tonight. I hear the Kennedys got some O-rings for our air compressor. I got some trigger parts that they want. You need anything?
Look, let me check to see what I have to trade before you go over, all right?
All I can say, 7 months. I got my 20 years. I'm going home to Sharon and put my size 12s up on the coffee table for good.
Hey.
It's a hell of a way to run a ship.
Damn straight.
We do pretty good last time.
Are you kidding? We did great.
I got another one for you. Better. This one shows that the guns can match surface-to-surface missiles.
Let me see.
Gunnery figured it out. We use 5 bags of DA-46 to fire 2,700-pound projectiles, and every missile cruiser in our group will eat our dust. Sir, this is the kind of shoot that can make history. Vice Admiral Johnson will be aboard. He's commander of the 2nd Fleet. This is a big, big deal.
Did you say 5 bags of D846?
Sir, I don't know what Petty Officer Mortensen told you, but I didn't let you down on the long-distance shot, sir, did I?
I'll talk to him.
Sir, we don't need his permission to do an experimental shot.
I'm not going to ask his permission, Master Chief. I'm going to talk to him.
Master Chief Skelly said with this experimental shoot, Turret 1 will match a surface-to-surface missile.
5-bag heavy projectile shoot. 5 bags, a Delta 846 powder and a 2,700-pound projectile.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'll bet he told you to make history, too.
That's right. What's your point?
I don't want to make history with Master Chief Skelly.
Well, I do.
We're not supposed to use the Delta 846 powder with a heavy projectile, sir.
You objected to Skelly's last shoot, and now we've got the long-range record. Petty Officer Mortensen, I don't need your permission to do this shoot.
No, sir, you're right. You don't need my permission. You could order me to do it. Is that what you're going to do?
I don't want to order you to do it. I want us to work together.
Okay, Mr. Meyer, for the record, I think a Delta 846 heavy projectile shoot is hazardous. So if you want us to work together, you should tell Skelly to get someone else.
Stand by for live fire exercises. Man your battle stations.
Hey, thanks for saying no to Skelly. Lost your nerve, huh, Meyer? Well, don't worry about it. Hey, can you spell promotion?
Hardwick. Sorry, pal. Get your ass in the center gun room.
I'm not on the duty roster, Senior Chief.
I know. We got a lot of new guys. There's first live fire shoot. I need some know-how in there. Come on, Clay! Get a move on.
Range clear.
Morning, Mr. Meyer.
Morning, sir. We've called away gunnery stations. I expect we should be manned and ready in a couple of minutes.
Very well, Mr. Meyer. That's all yours, Mr. Gill.
Very well.
I swear, whenever we do one of these shoots, all I can think about is a beautiful woman and a juicy steak.
I wouldn't go that far, sir.
Ah, that's true. It's why I come on these shoots whenever I can. There's no other feeling like it in the world when those 16 inches start rocking.
You, shoot power at Pebble Beach. That, sounds like a pretty good feeling to me.
Christ, we're gonna have to make you an admiral, just so you and I can play around together. After all, that wouldn't be right, me losing to a captain, now would it?
It would be my pleasure to kick a fellow admiral's butt, sir.
Man up all 5-inch mounts, secondary plot, turrets 1, 2, and 3, main plot.
Here he comes, sir.
Troy?
Nice of you to make an appearance.
Sorry about that, Senior Chief.
Gun control on the line. All stations, report when you're
Manned and ready.
Gun control, turret 2, manned and ready.
Turret 1, left, center, and
Right guns, 1 round, load.
Aye, sir.
Easy. Good. Left gun loaded, sir. Center gun loaded and ready, sir. Right gun loaded, sir.
Turret 1 ready to fire, sir.
On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Mark.
This is turret 1. I have a misfire in the left gun.
Bobby, get in there. Let me know what's going on. Hurry up. Come on.
Sir.
Mr. Gill.
forward main plot. Fire next salvo.
Okay, reprime that. Just reprime it.
Turret 3 ready to fire. On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Mr. Gill. I want a 3-gun salvo from turret 2.
Aye, aye, sir. Turret 2, left, center, and right guns. 1 round, load.
Sir, turret 1 is reprimed and ready to fire.
Turret 2.
Are you loading? Turret 2, do you hear me?
Fast as we can, sir.
Turret 2.
Mr. Gill.
I'm on it, sir. Turret 1, stand by.
Left gas ejection air, ready.
Left and right guns are loaded!
Stewart, center gun is having a little trouble.
Come on, Zig, fix it! What's going on? We have a flash! Zig, I have friction here! Zig!
Close the brakes!
Oh my God!
Sound general quarters.
General quarters, all manning your battle stations. All hands, there was an explosion in turret 2.
Assume the con, give me the wind, please.
55, 18 knots.
Left full rudder, coming across 255, into the wind. Commander, give me the blueprints for turret 2.
We never received them from gunnery, sir.
How the hell can I contain this fire without schematics?
Request permission to leave, Bridge.
Go.
Get in the powder now!
What's happening?
They're all dead in there!
Captain!
Let's get out of here! Help me can this stuff! If it blows, you can't run far enough! Come on, help me!
This should cover you for schematics, sir. Request permission to go below and survey the damage.
Permission granted. Keep those hoses on the turret! Smith, get the kick out of that hose. Come on, boys, move it! Get water on that center gun. Work as a team. Let's go!
Put those on pump!
Get the hell out of here!
Admiral, we have a chopper on line to take you and your staffers back to shore, sir.
Thank you, Captain. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
He's dead. Keep going. Dang it! We gotta get out of here! No! We gotta dump these powder bags! Oh no! We gotta flood this entire area! Or the whole ship is gonna blow! These bags are gonna blow up! Oh no! Move it! Come on! There's no time! Bring him through. Needs more blood here. Bandages, please. Sit down. Great.
Sir, we've got multiple powder bags glowing bright red in turret 2.
Flood the magazines, the annular spaces, and the power flags.
Aye, sir.
Damage control. Flood magazines. Flood annular spaces. Flood powder flags. Turret number 2.
Mr. Meyer, are there any casualties?
At least 10 to 20 in the powder room alone, sir.
I want a full count and IDs.
Aye, sir.
Christ. This is Ziggy. Senior Chief Ziegler. No tags. Dolan. Oh, God. That's Thompson.
Above you.
I can't. It's Price. Price. They never charged the sprinkler system. What a waste. They didn't stand a chance.
None of this would have happened. Stewart and I weren't. I had to impress the brass. If you hadn't stood up to me, this would have been us.
Let's just keep going. play, Hardwick.
You sure?
The tattoo.
Sir?
What?
Some of the bodies are immersed in water. We'll need pumps to lower it. We'll need winches, lock and tackle. The water in the powder flats is contaminated by oil, sulfur, hydraulic fluid. We're gonna need filters, masks, gloves, all of it.
And some nets, some fishing nets, and mallets, clubs, something like that.
What for?
Rigor mortis is set in. We're gonna have to break their arms and legs to get them through the hatches.
Get some men. Get to it.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Sir? Sir, everything in this turret is evidence. We can't tamper with it.
We put it in at Norfolk. Relatives of the victims are going to be there. I'll not have them see a turret that looks like this.
But, sir, we haven't even begun an investigation. We should at least have the film team down here.
You and Petty Officer Mortensen are going to see to it that the left and right guns are lowered to match the center gun. That this turret is trained upon the ship's center line.
Sir, I don't understand. Everything that you're doing in here is compromising an investigation.
That is an order, Ensign. Now, when you're finished, shower and get some rest. Dismissed.
What the hell is that?
Ran out of body bags, sir.
We'll find some.
Yes, sir. Now! Yes, sir.
God damn it. Soldiers don't go home in garbage bags.
Man, Hut.
Today's been the worst day of my life. Not only as a soldier, but as a human being. The commander is supposed to lose men in the line of fire. But like this, there's no sense to it. There's no higher purpose. There is no grand meaning. But I do know that we have to go on. The best thing we can do for those men is to do our duty. There's going to be a moratorium on the firing of all 16-inch guns in the fleet until the Navy completes its inquiry. The C&O has ordered that the inquiry will be, and I quote, an informal one-officer investigation. Commander Gill will fill you in on what you need to know. If you have any questions, Mr. Gill.
Gentlemen, the Iowa will not be conducting a separate on-board investigation. It would be inappropriate for any senior officer to advise you how to answer questions put by the Admiral, but we do suggest that you keep your answers short. In fact, you know a lot less than you think about the operation of either Turret 2 or this vessel. Questions?
Sir, what is an informal investigation?
In an informal investigation, witnesses do not need to be sworn. They are not advised of their rights. They do not have a lawyer present. And regardless of what the evidence discloses, they cannot be charged with a crime.
I had the impression that JAG policy required a formal panel of admirals to...
Your impression is wrong.
Larry, we picked you because you once commanded a battleship. And we don't want some condescending flyboy to run this investigation. Anyway, this meeting will strictly be hello, goodbye. The next time you and I talk, it'll be after you're done. Even if I wanted to stick my nose in, the uniform code forbids it, so I'm just a spectator here. However, I have every confidence that you will do right by the Navy, right by the victims, right by the Iowa and her sister battleships.
Sir, how would you rank those obligations?
Well, Larry, that's up to you, not me. However, if this were on my plate, I'd rank those obligations equal. What's good for the Navy is good for the victims. What's good for the victims is good for the Iowa. What's good for the Iowa is good for the future of all our battleships and the brave folks who sail them. And I say that as a condescending flyboy.
All hands. Anyone with information about the Turret 2 explosion, muster outside the ship's wardroom to schedule interviews.
We used to have a sensational center gun captain, Clay Hartwig. But he had a transfer coming, so he wasn't on the duty roster.
We have him as killed in the blast.
Clay shouldn't have been in the turret. Clay should be here. Alive.
Lieutenant, they want you in the wardroom, sir.
As far as I know, sir, the research and development program was exclusively Master Chief Skelly's operation.
Are you saying senior officers on board were not aware of it?
As far as I could tell, sir, Captain Musali and the other senior officers let Skelly do his experiments without interference or supervision.
Stop the tape. Lieutenant, out in the hallway. You little snitch. You can't say that.
Sir, I was only answering...
Well, the Admiral doesn't want to hear another word about experiments.
Why weren't you in your turret when the explosion occurred?
I had bridge duty, sir. Petty Officer Mortensen was more than qualified to act as turret officer.
Based on where you found their bodies, do you believe Lieutenant Stewart and Chief Ziegler were at their post at the time of the explosion?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Were you sure? You identified them solely by their insignia. Why is that?
They were in pieces, sir.
Do you recognize these, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. These are the training records for Turret 2 that you requested.
What do you make of them?
Well, sir, the record keeping could have been more accurate. No question. Sir, if I may, this is a copy of a memo that I submitted on October the 23rd, 1988.
Could you summarize it for us?
Admiral, may I suggest we study the Lieutenant's memo later on?
We have Lieutenant Meyer here. Let him summarize it for us.
Lieutenant, summarize your memo for the Admiral, briefly.
I described defects in the hydraulic and sprinkler systems in all three turrets. I described the electrical problems. I described the age and volatility of the powder. I described the shortage of trained men.
Is it your contention, Lieutenant, that these conditions led to the explosion in Turret 2?
Sir, I don't know exactly what led to the explosion, but...
To whom did you address this memo?
To the gunnery officer of the Iowa, sir.
Not the XO?
No, sir.
Not the captain?
No, sir.
Sabotage.
Admiral Langlet actually said traitorous sailor?
In the pay of a foreign power.
Sweet Jesus.
Unbelievable.
If I asked you to do something for me...
What do you have in mind?
I don't think Admiral Langlet is looking in the right places.
He certainly doesn't want to know squat about the poor training or the bad powder or the crappy equipment or Skelly's weird shoots.
Why are they doing this?
They're protecting the captain. Look, if Langley can find something like a saboteur or a Chinese depth charge or an Iranian missile, that's great. Then Musali becomes admiral. But what if he doesn't? What if he finds something else? Like, I don't know, what if it's an accident due to poor maintenance? Then Musali could kiss his career goodbye.
Sir.
Your loyalty is all I asked. I didn't expect you to do my laundry. I didn't ask you to like me. I didn't even ask you to respect me.
Sir.
This is not just about what's going on my record. This is about keeping the ship going. And we can't do that by scaring the crew.
Sir, I only told the investigator.
You're a rat. You're a little pissant snitch. There's nothing lower. You think your father would have done this? Betrayed his ship, his captain.
Sir, I only described what I saw, what I personally knew to be true.
Really? So, telling Admiral Langlet about firing experiments, you don't suppose that was speculation? And about the conditions in turrets 2 and 3. You don't work in those turrets, so how the hell would you know? A lack of training in the weapons department. I especially appreciate that one. Have you read their examination reports? I mean, what are the basis of these remarks?
Well, sir...
You were explicitly briefed not to speculate, not to guess. You were told to keep your answers factual and short.
I was not at that briefing, sir. I was not told of it.
Loyalty, I mean, that's what you promised me. So, were you lying, Mr. Meyer? Are you a liar?
No, sir.
Because this goes way beyond disloyalty.
Sir, with all respect...
Which you lack, Lieutenant. Can I count on your loyalty from now on?
Yes, sir.
Then if the Admiral asks you any more questions, your answers are to be...
Factual and short, sir.
You're not to speculate, you're not to guess. You think you can handle that?
Yes, sir.
Let me say to the crew of Iowa, I understand your great grief. I promise you today we will find out why.
I remember Turret 2. They were the life, the spirit, and the soul of our ship.
And your men are under a different command now. One that knows no rank, only love, knows no danger, only peace. May God bless them all.
The Navy is conducting an exhaustive internal investigation. In addition, we are being assisted by the FBI crime lab.
Why involve the FBI?
We're using the FBI exclusively for forensics work on the bodies. As you know, it is very difficult to identify victims of a large explosion.
We're hearing that there were malfunctions on the Iowa, guns breaking down because of age. Could this explain what happened in Turret 2? Is this why the Navy has ordered a stand-down of all 16-inch guns, not just those on the Iowa?
The Navy ordered a stand-down as a standard precaution until it has a chance to thoroughly inspect all the guns. In answer to your first question, certainly there are going to be problems on a 45-year-old ship. However, to my knowledge, there was nothing to portend a tragedy of this magnitude.
Well, one thing we do know is based on the way this bulkhead is bowed out here, the explosion definitely started in this gunroom.
Did their ready-safe board short out as often as ours?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it did. They never gave him a new one.
Could a spark have come from the powder hoist?
The hoist? Yeah. It could have come from the hoist, a board, a switch. It could have come from anywhere.
What did you know about Master Chief Skelly's so-called research and development program?
Nothing. I was shocked and incensed when I heard about it.
So you had no awareness of any illegal powder experiments on April 19th?
No, sir, no such awareness.
Do you have regular conversations with Master Chief Skelly?
As necessary, like any other officer in my command.
Captain, based on your familiarity with the ship and its crew, could you venture a theory of the explosion?
Sir, I'm not a large gun expert, no.
I understand, but what in your mind would be a fruitful path for us? The equipment, the propellants, the projectiles, the personnel? What?
Personnel.
Why do you say that, sir?
When I took over this ship, it had problems. Problems in the gunnery department, problems in the wardroom, problems in the engineering department. Officers who had mediocre evaluations on the last ship. Seamen who were kicked off shore patrol. Not exactly the cream of the crop, sir. I had asked for 130 gunner's mates. I got 88. So to tell the truth, I don't believe the Navy is supporting the battleships the way they should.
I have to accept the fact that my brother is never coming home. But I won't accept the fact that my brother's $100,000 Navy death benefit should go to this man, Kendall Truitt, who didn't even know my brother 2 years. Captain Musali, my parents are older and not in the best of health. They could really use that money. Any help you or the Navy could provide in resolving this matter would be greatly appreciated. Respectfully yours, Kathy Kubicina, formerly Kathy Hartwig.
What should we do with this?
If you want, Navy Investigative Services will look into this.
Is that okay, Commander? Are we on solid legal ground asking NIS in?
Sir, it is a judgment call. And I have no doubt that Admiral Chapin trusts your judgment.
I'll take your word for it, Commander. Excuse me, I have an appointment.
You gentlemen get a chance to look at that stuff I sent you?
Yeah.
This is not in there. Hartwig and Truitt, off the ship, are inseparable. It's rumored that they're homosexual lovers. In 1987, and maybe you should make a note of this, they were busted for cavorting and wrestling on their midnight forewatch.
Cavorting, what the hell is that?
Well, it's not entirely clear. Charges were dropped, but the rumors do continue. And Hartwig does make Truitt his beneficiary to the tune of $100,000.
That's worth exploring.
Well, tread easy, guys. You don't want to disturb the Admiral.
Bingo. Naval Investigative Services, Mr. Hartwig. Agents Flynn and Cobb.
I told Clay. I said to him, pick good friends, do your best. Your officers will stand behind you. I'm glad to see you guys working on this insurance business. I was against it when Kathy wanted to write you. I didn't think anybody would care.
No, we want to find out exactly what happened, sir.
Clay was so proud to be a sailor, like his dad. When he put on his uniform and walked down the street, turned the girls' heads.
Mrs. Hartwig, did Clay go out on many dates?
Clayton, oh my, yes, he was very popular. Clayton was 16 when that was taken. He was going to a costume party. Clayton always loved the Navy, even as a little boy. He was so foolish that night.
Kathy, can you think of any reason why your brother might have wanted to kill himself?
Hey, what are you... Did you know that your
Hal had a book called Improvised Munitions.
Sure. We got it at a gun show. We wanted to check out 60s techniques.
Do you own a copy of Revenge, The Art of Payback?
Yeah. Tells how to use cat piss to ruin your neighbor's lawn.
Ken.
It also teaches you how to make a bomb.
We hear Clay got upset when you two got married.
Yeah. He got pretty upset.
Is that because you and he were lovers?
What?
Maybe it was a three-way. Carol, did you ever make it with Clay and Ken?
We're done. You want to talk to us anymore, you bring a warrant.
How long were Clayton Hartwig and Kendall Truitt lovers?
I don't know that they were lovers.
You ever catch them in anything?
No, I did not.
Didn't Lieutenant Stewart charge them with indecent acts because...
Those charges were phony. George Stewart...
Stewart caught them sucking face during an overnight watch.
George Stewart brought those charges because Truitt was loan sharking, and Stewart wanted him off the ship.
Did you know that during Liberty, they slept in the same motel room?
Every enlisted man I know...
Do you split motel rooms with other guys?
These are gunner's mates. Do you know what gunner's mates earn?
True, it was loan sharking. Why did he need Hartwig to split the motel room?
I have no idea. Maybe Hartwig was
You ever
feeling
see them
jealous.
fight?
No, I never saw them fight. Look, they were...
They were close. Like husband and wife kind of close?
They were friends.
Who was the husband and who was the wife? Who was pitching and who was catching?
They were friends. Don't you guys have friends? Oh, sorry. You're with the NIS. I forgot.
When Truitt got married, did Hartwig act strange?
Did he keep to himself? Did he commit any vandalism? Did he act weird?
He acted the way he always acted.
If I told you we found dozens of tubes of KY jelly in Hartwig's locker on the ship, what would you say?
What?
We'd say we got a fag. A fag wife.
Who got dumped and killed 46 innocent men because he wanted to blow up his fag husband. Now that's what we would say. What would you say, Lieutenant?
I'd say what's relevant. Turret 2 was filled with defective equipment. The gunpowder, which was made in 1940, by the way, was improperly stored in unventilated barges in the middle of the summer. And most important, Clayton Hartwig was nowhere near the gun. We found his body in the gun pit. He couldn't have done any damage if he tried.
Informed sources confirmed that the Naval Investigative Service believes that the explosion was the result of a murder-suicide committed by a distraught seaman. According to these sources, the NIS has eliminated...
When did Hartwig tell you he was going to blow up the turret?
He never said he was going to blow up the turret.
How many days in advance?
He never said a word about it.
10 days? 5 days? 3 days? How many days in advance, Timmy?
If you don't tell us how many days in advance, we gotta charge you with perjury, obstruction of justice, 47 counts of accessory to murder.
They never said any days.
Did he tell you the day he showed you the timer, or was it before then?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did he keep the timer in his locker? He showed you stuff in his locker, right, Timmy? He showed you his Bibles, his music, his knives. He showed you stuff, right?
Yeah. But there's no timer.
Didn't he take the timer out of his locker and show you how it worked? Timmy, he showed you his private stuff, right? You guys were buddies. Were you and Clay more than buddies, Timmy?
What are you talking about?
Did he tell you he loved you? Did you and him go to motel rooms? You weren't cheating on Ken, were you?
Are you out of your mind? I'm not gay. No, Ken isn't gay. Clay isn't gay.
It's too late for that now, Timmy. We know he came on to you. He liked you. He came on to you every chance he got. Did you lead him on, Timmy?
No.
You fought him off, didn't you, Timmy?
No.
Did you fight him off on the ship or on the shore?
I never said I fought him off.
You let him on? You let him on?
What do you think of Admiral Langlet?
How do you mean?
You think he's an honest man?
Never heard otherwise.
He's ignoring evidence.
Lawrence Langlet is a Navy admiral. He's assigned to investigate the deaths of 47 American seamen. Trust me, he's not ignoring evidence. Dan, your duty is to protect your man by making sure the turret is safe. Langlet's duty is to determine the cause of the explosion. Don't confuse the two.
To make my turret safe, I have to know what really happened, and what I'm finding out contradicts what Admiral Langlet's finding out.
Doesn't mean you're right and he's wrong.
I don't believe that Clay Hartwig either could have or would have killed himself and 46 of his shipmates. I don't believe that. I believe the Navy is scapegoating a dead man to protect itself.
The Navy wouldn't do that.
Your Navy wouldn't do that.
So, Gunner's mate Timothy Sykes. Did Gunner's mate Clayton Hartwig ever show you a timer or ignition device he intended to use to blow up turret 2?
Yes.
Investigators believe that Gunner's mate Clayton Hartwig planted a small detonator in the breech of the turret in order to kill himself and another sailor in the turret. Hartwig is said to have had a special relationship with Gunner's mate, Kendall Truitt. Sources at the NIS said that Hartwig named Truitt as beneficiary of his $100,000 Navy life insurance policy. Although the Navy officially denied that it was limiting its investigation to the murder-suicide theory, NIS sources said they'd found no evidence that an accident caused the blast.
You went to Cornell, right?
Yes, sir.
You play any sports?
Squash.
Not much of a team sport, is it? You, told the Admiral and NAS you found Hartwig's body one story down in the gun pit.
I saw him with my own eyes, sir.
I read your report. A tattoo of the Iowa, GMT Hartwig. You and Petty Officer Mortensen put a question mark after it. I mean, you weren't even sure and you were right there.
It was Hartwig, sir. I remember that tattoo. I saw it when I was in the gym with him. It's the only one on the ship like it. He couldn't have made it down there before the powder detonated, sir.
Well, he could have if he'd used a timer.
There was no evidence of a timer, sir.
See, we have men all over this ship repeating your version of the story. And damn it, he could have been anybody. Anybody.
Timmy. You talking to me?
Sure, I'm talking to you, Ken. Hell, I don't owe you money. Where are you transferring to?
Mayport by Jacksonville. How'd it go with the NIS?
You know.
Yeah. I know, they see fags everywhere. Don't let them get to you. They did, huh?
It's not quite working out the way you thought it would.
That bastard recanted. We spent 3 days with that prick.
Gentlemen, I notice a lot of the information from the investigation is getting into the media. Now, do you need any help?
We're all right, sir.
Because it'd be a terrible thing if the Sykes retraction was leaked. The public wouldn't know who to believe. The Sykes who blamed Hartwig last week? Or the Sykes who withdrew his statement?
It's a load of crap. Sir Clay was in the pit. No way he puts anything in the chamber. So why doesn't somebody tell the NIS that?
Someone did tell the NIS that. It made no difference.
Couldn't the captain tell them? That would make a difference.
Listen, the Admiral's report is almost ready. Let's just give him a chance to do the right thing. He's Navy, just like us.
This book, which was found in Gunner's mate Clayton Hartwig's locker, gives precise instructions on how to build a detonator. Our tests indicate that Clayton Hartwig was the most likely person to have put a detonator in the chamber.
What kind of a detonator? Was it a timer or a pressure device?
We haven't been able to determine what it was.
Was anything else found in Hartwig's locker that showed that he built the detonator?
We're talking about thousands of possibilities here.
The answer to your question is no, nothing was found.
Was Hartwig unstable?
No. If he had been unstable, he couldn't have performed as gun captain.
Was he gay?
We have no hard evidence of that.
There's never been any evidence of that. I know there's been speculation amongst the press, but
Excuse me, those leaks came from the Navy.
we categorically deny that.
You're concluding Hartwig is a mass murderer. By what standard? Beyond a reasonable doubt?
I'd say preponderance of proof. Now, believe me, we'd be much happier if we determined that the explosion came from a technical malfunction or simple error. But that wasn't the case. Now, the inquiry demonstrates that the Iowa guns were ship-shape and its powder is safe.
Admiral Chapin.
The United States Navy has determined that it was an intentional act caused by your son, Clayton Hartwig.
Clayton Hartwig was despondent, emotionally unstable, and predisposed to suicide. Acting alone, he planned his ultimate end in a place and manner intended to gain the recognition he felt had been denied him in life. He is the only individual who had motive, knowledge, and physical position in the turret gun room to place a device in the powder train. That summarizes Admiral Langlet's report. That is the Navy's position. And therefore it is mine. And it is yours. If you are asked about this tragedy by your families, your friends, your drinking buddies, or the press, you'd be doing yourselves, your shipmates, and the Navy a disservice by deviating from the Navy's position.
Their theory is Hartwig did it. Our theory is it was an accident. But the only thing to support our theory is a list of possibilities. Maybe overramming. Maybe defective gunpowder. Maybe friction.
It's stupid. Hartwig couldn't have done it. We found his body in the pit.
They've never accepted our position on that. They've always challenged.
It's crazy.
I don't know what to do.
To join the 6th Fleet off the coast of Lebanon. As you may know, 8 American hostages have been seized in Beirut, and our embassy is surrounded by hostile demonstrators. Before we join the fleet, we are required to test fire our guns to recertify them. Therefore, at 0900 tomorrow, Turret 3 will fire 3 shells, and Turret 1 will fire 6 shells.
This is a recertification so that we can go to war. There's a Maronite general who's sworn to seize our embassy in Beirut. And we're going to stop him from doing that. But we can't stop him unless we recertify our guns. And we can't recertify our guns unless we fire them. Now, can I promise you that nothing will go wrong? No. But we're the best. We know our guns.
Turret 1, left, right, and center guns. 1 round, load.
We will fire at 10,000 yards.
No, it's clear. Well, get in there and fix it, boy. Sir, we got a slight oscillation in this left gun.
Get up! Carry on. Came down to see what everybody was worked up about. We gotta look alive, boys. We're about to turn loose a little hell. The only fear be in the eyes of the people on the receiving end of these guns.
Turret 1, guns to bear.
Turret 1, guns to bear. Bearing 075 degrees, range 12,000 yards.
Make me proud.
There's haze. I can't make out the target area.
Bridge, aye.
Give me radar verification of the target area.
Sir, CIC confirms we have radar contact.
Very well. Prepare to fire.
Turret 1, guns loaded, ready to fire.
Closing to 10,000 yards.
Bearing 075 degrees, range 10,000 yards.
On my mark.
3, 2, 1, mark.
Good job in there, Baker.
The Senate and House Armed Services Committees told the Pentagon today that both panels would hold hearings on the Navy's probe of the Iowa explosion. In the words of one senator, rapists, drug kingpins, and Arab terrorists get the presumption of innocence, while Clayton Hartwig is condemned on the basis of a laughable FBI profile. The Navy Times reported that Captain Fred Musali, in his testimony to Admiral Langlet, dismissed his crew, missing no opportunity to characterize them as being ill-trained and lackluster in accomplishment.
Senator, I emphatically refute the notion that this investigation has been a cover-up. The Navy does not countenance such funny business.
Admiral, don't you think that some other independent, separate agency should be in charge of this investigation?
Careful, Larry. Firm but not defensive.
I don't know who could be more interested in finding the actual cause of this accident than the Navy itself. It is our problem.
That's my boy. When is Moose supposed to testify?
Day after tomorrow, right after they return to port.
I think he could do with some reassurance.
I wasn't in command of Turret 2, so why would the committee invite me to testify? Even if they did, what would I tell them? Hey, this is all a fraud. The Navy is smearing Hartwig to save its battleships. They can read that in the papers, they can see it on television. It's gonna mean nothing coming from a Lieutenant JG.
Yeah, look, we found Hartwig's body and we ID'd it.
Which I told them, and they think we were mistaken. Everyone who's testified has been a captain or higher. Admiral Langlet, Admiral Chapin.
Sir, the captain would like to see you.
See you later.
All right, Stan. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Getting a lot of phone calls, sir. I guess everyone just wants to make sure you toe the line tomorrow.
What's that?
No disrespect meant, sir. I was just trying to say that, you know, nobody wants to scrap the battleships. I mean...
I know what you mean. Come in.
Sir.
Lieutenant. Thank you, Mr. Gill. Lieutenant. I'm testifying before the Senate Armed Services Committee tomorrow, and I want you to prepare a memo on some of the questions I might anticipate.
Me, sir?
You know the case better than anybody.
Well, sir, the committee will have read your testimony to Admiral Langlet about the quality of the crew.
Well, I was misunderstood. I was describing conditions when I assumed command, not after I had taken over.
Sir. Sir, what if you're asked if you knew the rammer system in the center gun hadn't worked properly for more than a year?
It was never reported to me.
And that the rammer man, the day of the explosion, had never done a live shoot before?
Not uncommon. We don't do many live shoots, and I had a high turnover of gunners' mates.
What if you're asked about unauthorized powder experiments?
Never mentioned to me.
Sir, what if you're asked if you agree with Admiral Langlet's findings?
Of course I do.
Even though no detonator was found?
Yes.
Even though the motive was questionable?
Yes.
Even though certain witnesses dispute that Hartwig was in the gunroom?
No reliable witnesses, so yes.
Even though there are alternative explanations for the explosion?
I agree with the Admiral's findings.
Sir, at the Naval Legal Services Office are all the original documents and test data. May I suggest that you go over there now and review them?
I agree with the Admiral's findings.
Sir, I strongly suggest that you read the raw material on which it's based.
Now, find what? Proof that it was an accident? I doubt that, mister.
What you'll find, sir, is testimony by your own men. Ordinary seamen who had no interests to protect and no axes to grind. Men who served with Clay Hartwig, who drank with him, who read the Bible with him, who found his body and gathered up its pieces. You're the captain of the Iowa, sir. What you say tomorrow will carry more weight than anything anyone else says. She's your ship, sir.
Yes, she is.
Captain, in your remarks about your crew to Admiral Langlet, you implied that they were incompetent and untrained. Is that correct?
I was describing the ship when I took over. Once I was in command, the men were properly trained.
That's not what you told Admiral Langlet, is it?
My testimony was taken out of context, sir. Let me set the record straight. My men had the skills, the training, and the experience to perform their tasks. Our only deficiency was in maintaining formal records of those skills. The Iowa I command is one of the best ships in the Navy. The Iowa described in the press never existed.
Captain LaSalle, do you agree with the Navy's conclusion that the explosion, which took the lives of 47 men, was a direct result of a deliberate action?
I agree with the Navy's findings.
Captain, I assume you've read the NIS investigative report on the explosion. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, several times.
And Captain, do you agree with the Navy's conclusions that Clayton Hartwig most probably blew up the gun?
I would not come out and say that. No, sir, I cannot do that.
You yourself cannot do that?
No, sir.
Do you believe Admiral Langlet was in a position to conclude that Clayton Hartwig was guilty?
I can't answer that question. I can't judge if Admiral Langlet could conclude that Clayton Hartwig was guilty.
Would you yourself come to that conclusion, Captain?
I haven't got the scientific or technical expertise.
Captain, you spent 23 years on active duty. How is it you lack the expertise to agree or disagree with the conclusion that Hartwig is guilty?
Senator, Mr. Chairman, I have not read in detail all the lab reports or the forensic.
But surely, as a professional Navy officer, you have...
No, sir, I am not a munitions expert.
Well, neither is Admiral Langlet, but he reached a conclusion.
That's his privilege, Senator.
So, primarily, you have not had time to study the body of evidence.
No, sir, I have not had time.
And thus, there is no other reason you cannot come to a conclusion.
Captain, if you took 6 months off to review all the evidence, would you then be in a position to conclude that Clayton Hartwig committed this act?
I can't answer that question. I haven't had the time.
Now, let me see if I understand this. You concur with the Navy's findings that the explosion was the result of a deliberate act, but you disagree with the findings which specifically implicate Clayton Hartwig. Well, are you satisfied, Captain, that the explosion was an intentional act?
I can and will talk about what I directly know. I will speak to my own behavior, but I am not willing to speculate at the expense of the men under my command.
Well, do you have any other plausible or reasonable explanation for what happened in that gun turret?
No, sir.
In that case, Captain, have you formed your own conclusion about who might be the guilty party?
I have not.
But you cannot conclude that Clayton Hartwig is guilty.
No, sir, I cannot. I don't know what happened in that turret. I mean, nobody does who's alive. I can say with certainty that a tragedy occurred in Turret 2. What the cause of that tragedy
Captain,
was...
either it was a mechanical failure, possibly with human error of some kind, or it was a deliberate act. Now, the NIS has spent some $4.5 million, and they have assured us that this was a deliberate act. Is that right, or is it not? Captain? Captain, do I need to repeat the question for you?
No, sir. You do not. The answer to your question is that I cannot make an unqualified statement that Gunners Mate Hartwig or any one of my men was responsible for any deliberate act. Those men gave their lives for their country, for each other. I will not sit here today and point a finger at any one of them. I can't do that. What's more, sir, I won't. I have nothing to say.
Captain Dashiell? My son loved the Navy and that ship as much as you. My son was a hero. My son gave his life for his country.
Yes, ma'am. I believe that's true.
You have to understand that Fred Musali is the commanding officer of the Iowa. Now, no CO wants to admit that one of his men went berserk and killed 46 of his comrades. So, of course, Captain Musali's going to back up. Of course he's not going to be sure. But as far as the Chief of Naval Operations is concerned, the explosion on the Iowa was a deliberate act committed by Clayton Hartwig.
It's okay. I mean, everybody knows.
Sir, Gunner's Mate Kindle turret reporting is ordered, sir.
Truett. Oh, you're that little faggot.
So, think that'd work for me? I piss off the captain, he'll transfer me off the ship?
I guarantee it. Though personally, I recommend it only as a last resort.
So what do you got, another battleship, another 16-inch turret?
Communications on a command and control ship, the LaSalle.
Not the same.
Not the same.
Hey, thirsty?
I don't drink with enlisted men.
I heard that about you. So what are you gonna do, huh? Gonna stay in the Navy, be a lifer like your old man?
That was plan A. I don't know.
You done good, Mr. Meyer.
Enter. Lieutenant.
Reporting for departure for the LaSalle, sir.
That was a hell of a ride.
Well, sir, I just thought what I thought. I just did what I did based on that.
Can't believe you, Lieutenant.
With respect, sir. Why did you break ranks? Why did you put your career at risk for the reputation of a dead gunner's mate?
Good luck, Mr. Meyer.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Lieutenant, sir. Good luck, Lieutenant.
Godspeed, Lieutenant.
Way to go, Dan.
Way to go, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Good luck, sir.
Have permission to leave the ship.
Aye, aye, sir. 2 bells. Turret 1 departing.
Turret 1 departing. One year after the explosion, the Iowa was decommissioned. Captain Fred Musali retired from the Navy in 1990. Petty Officer Dale Mortensen also left and works in a factory in Michigan. Dan Meyer resigned from the Navy in 1991 and works as a lawyer in Washington, D.C. Although the entire ship's crew was awarded a Navy unit citation for their heroic efforts to save the ship, the Navy never delivered the medals to either the living or the dead. In 1991, the Navy apologized to the family of Clayton Hartwig for concluding that he had blown up the gun. However, the Navy refused to exonerate Hartwig, saying that the exact cause of the explosion could not be determined. That is the Navy's position to this day.
Overton.